What was that like for you guys when you first came in? You got that standing ovation from the fans.
Oh, that felt amazing. I'm pretty sure PJ felt great because being back home and just me being so close to home, it just felt like we already had. I felt like I got drafted by this team and all honesty. But no, it just felt good. Stepping on the court, hearing the crowd and hearing the cheers, it just really just kind of like fueled the energy that I had throughout the game, most definitely.
How were you guys able to execute so well? It seems like you've been here all year long.
Well, playing with guys like Luka, Kyrie, and all the other guys that were on the floor, it just felt like that I was already a part of the mold. Just being on the opposite end, looking through these guys when it comes to just like our pregame stuff and how to defend these guys, so on and so forth, and just seeing like what they get throughout the game playing against us, it just feels like, I already know coming into the team and just being in the right spot at the right time, doing the right things, setting the right screens, and just getting guys downhill,
After the trade, Luka said, "You're the backup son he's been waiting for 3 years." And then today he was so excited every time he had a big play. What's it like to have that kind of player in your corner?
I mean, it's amazing because a guy of his caliber, like somebody like me, it just feels like, I've never had that happen before. But, just at the end of the day, I'm just really excited just to be a part of this team and just be with guys like him and just come out and just, he had 30 points in, 3 quarters tonight? That was amazing to watch. I'm not going to lie to you. I was, really having a great time. Then all the stuff Kyrie was doing, of course, too. It's like 1-2 punch, and I was just out there just picking up the trash. That's what I always do.
So your first offensive possession, you catch a lob from Luka. What's running through your mind there?
I mean, like I said, that's probably going to be like all I say throughout my time here is right spot at the right time. One thing for sure when I got here is what we worked on. When it was Luka is on that side of the floor, whatever side of the floor he's on, and I got somebody behind me, shield them, he's just going to throw it up to the rim. And, when I was in Washington, I always said, you can throw it up to the moon, I'm always come down with it. So.
You had an emotional 24, 48 hours. When you go home today, what you going to do?
I'm most definitely get a lot of sleep. But before I do that, I don't want to get on the phone because I'm pretty sure my mom, my dad, all my people from my hometown and stuff are going crazy. So I'm most definitely kind of like, dwindle into that. But other than that, I'm going to get a lot of rest today.
Danny, you were all over the offensive glass tonight, and you were bringing tons of energy. Talk about the energy you brought, but as well as the fans, because the place was going nuts when you were going off on the offensive glass.
Oh, man, it kind of reminded me of my Arkansas days, in all honesty. There's no other arena like Bud Walton, but it almost felt like it tonight. And then just coming to the sideline and seeing, guys like Mark Cuban and Kyrie dapping me up, Luka dapping me up, all my teammates dapping me up, that was really special. It made me feel real good just to really just kind of like, work hard and just kind of like be energized by the crowd. Because, at the end of the day, if you ain't got a good crowd, you ain't gonna really have good energy, in all honesty.
Obviously, the Mavs had some holes, and that's why they brought you and PJ in. Do you think that you two have fixed those holes that the Mavs had?
Almost definitely. I mean, it still is room for improvement. There is a lot of things that I feel myself could most definitely be better at, especially being like cross-matched down the stretch when it comes to not being on just like the initial matchup with the 5, but most definitely we filled a couple of holes. I'm just like a defensive-minded guy. I'm always the one that's kind of like in the back being the anchor. So at the end of the day, just pretty much send anything down to the basket and I'll take care of the rest.
You mentioned getting on the phone with your family before you get the results you need from the last 48 hours. How much have you leaned on them to get you to this point where you're at today?
Oh, I lean on them as much as I can. Just kind of like my story and my career and how it went. I wouldn't be where I am today without my family. Most definitely without my wife, my mom, my dad, brothers, sisters, my whole city. Everybody's been behind me, pushing me to just be the best that I can be. And I just give them props because it ain't hard dealing with a guy like me. I mean, it is hard dealing with a guy like me. I'm always in my head. I'm always frustrated with myself. So being able to be pushed by so many people that care about me really gives me that edge to just come out every night and just go 110% because I'm doing it for them. I'm not just doing it for me.
And I know you have bigger aspirations within your career, but do you think about how you're inspiring the next generation from your hometown as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because with my energy, it's not every day that you see somebody from my hometown do this. We've had guys, most definitely they got there, but it just never worked out in the end game. So really, I just try to do as much motivating as I can because it don't matter where you come from. It's pretty much it matters where you're going at the end of the day.
You obviously have seen Luka and Kyrie play. Even we have as fans, but playing with them, what was that like? And was there anything you didn't expect that they did when they were playing?
Oh no, I expected everything. just watching film on those guys and all that stuff. I expected everything, and just what I liked on the floor, most definitely everything they came out and they showed, you know, especially with just like all the stuff that they did in the pregame warm up and whatnot. You know, I was not expecting that. Some of the guys on the team was like, it's part 1, part 2, and part 3. I seen all 3 parts today. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just make sure I remember this down the stretch so I don't mess it up whenever I come out for the 2-line layups from now on.
How do you feel that you have a big game tonight and next up you get a chance to take on Washington? How's that feel?
I mean, it feels great, you know. Most definitely not going to take it easy on them. So, just going to come out and just be me, you know. Love those guys to death. They gave me an opportunity at the beginning of my career that, honestly, I didn't think I was going to get. So, you know, it's all love to them, but just ready for the next game. That's kind of like my mindset. Night in, night out, always be ready for the next one.
You said you were ready for anything with Luka. Were you ready for that alley-oop dunk in basically the first minute you were on the floor?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Look, I'm going back to what I said, right place at the right time, most definitely. And then once I kind of like, you know, put myself in position, we just kind of like locked eyes. At the beginning of it, he just threw it up. You know, I honestly felt like I almost goaltended, but, you know, I still finished it. So.
What about that second one, though? It was almost like a full into the court pass.
Yeah. Usually I don't get those type of passes, but, you know, I came up with that one for sure.
Yeah, Daniel, going off of his question a little bit, Luka was showing tons of trust in you tonight, whether that's throwing up lobs, throwing that Hail Mary pass. What does that mean to have your first game with Luka Doncic, him having that much trust in you?
Oh, man, that means a lot because it gives me the opportunity to just kind of like show just like what I'm good at, running the floor, catching lobs, rebounding, screaming, you know. At the end of the day, I'm just doing my job, and pretty much he was helping me do my job tonight.
Second most points scored, it said, off the bench in history, in Mavs franchise history. How do you feel being that guy?
It's a pat on the back and on to the next. Most def. I mean, I really ain't got much to say on that.
The energy that you're bringing, and you tell the fans this love. I mean, do you feel expectations? Do you feel the weight of the expectations?
You know, with me, I'm always up for a challenge. So if there's any expectations, you know, if I don't exceed it, I will work to exceed the next time. But if I do, good job, Daniel, and keep moving.
Thank you guys.
All right.